Welcome to my space, where wisdom whispers and souls find solace. Welcome to my space, where wisdom whispers and souls find solace. Today, let's dive into another calming tale that soothes the mind and uplifts the spirit. So grab a cup of tea or a glass of water and let's begin. Power of patience. A lesson from a bamboo tree. In the heart of a tranquil forest, there was a young bamboo tree. Now the bamboo tree had always admired the majestic oaks that stood tall and proud around him. Their branches seemed to touch the sky, and their leaves rustled in the wind like a soothing melody. The young bamboo looked up to them, yearning to grow as strong and tall as they were. As the seasons passed, the oak trees continued to grow, reaching new heights each year. The young bamboo, however, remained relatively small. He watched as the trees around him grew quickly, and sometimes he couldn't help but feel a twinge of envy. He wanted to be tall and admired too. One day, the young bamboo tree couldn't contain his frustration any longer. He turned to an old and wise willow tree nearby and asked, "Why am I growing so slowly? Will I forever be just a small tree?" The willow tree, with its long, graceful branches swaying in the wind, listened patiently to the young bamboo's woes. When he finished, the willow tree spoke in a voice as soft as the rustling leaves. "Patience, young bamboo, is a virtue you must embrace. Your time will come, and you will grow tall and strong. You just need to trust in the natural order of things." The young bamboo wasn't convinced. He wanted to grow now. Couldn't understand why he had to wait. The willow tree saw the bamboo's frustration and added, "Each of us has our own rhythm, our own pace at which we grow. Yours is different from the oak's, and that doesn't mean it's slower. It simply means it's yours." Despite the willow tree's words, the young bamboo remained impatient. He continued to question why he was growing so slowly, and when he would finally be tall and strong. The willow tree, though, kept telling him to be patient, that his time would come. Years went by, and the young bamboo still hadn't grown much taller. He felt like he was the slowest tree in the forest, and the other trees often made fun of him. They called him names like little bamboo and slow grower, and it hurt his feelings deeply. Then one day, a powerful storm swept through the forest. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, and the rain poured down in torrents. The mighty oak trees, with their large, heavy branches, couldn't withstand the force of the storm. One by one, they began to fall. The young bamboo watched in amazement and fear as the trees that had stood tall for decades were brought crashing down. But then he remembered the willow tree's words about being patient and trusting in the natural order of things. As the storm raged around him, the bamboo swayed gently from side to side. His roots were firmly planted in the ground, and even though the wind tried its hardest, it couldn't uproot him. The bamboo bent with the wind, and that's how he survived the storm. When the storm finally passed and the sun came out to dry the wet leaves, the forest looked very different. The mighty oaks that had once towered over the trees were now lying on the ground, their branches broken and their leaves scattered everywhere. The young bamboo, though, still stood tall and strong. He had survived the storm because he had been patient and flexible. As the other trees in the forest began to clear away the debris from the storm, the bamboo approached the willow tree. He wanted to thank her for teaching him the importance of patience and for helping him to understand that he didn't need to be like the oaks to be strong. The willow tree smiled at the bamboo and said, "You see, young bamboo, sometimes we must grow slowly so that we can be stronger in the end. Your flexibility and patience allowed you to bend with the storm, and that's what saved you. Had you tried to stand as tall and rigid as the oaks during the storm, you might have broken. But because you were patient and grew at your own pace, you not only survived, but you also became stronger." The young bamboo realized that the willow tree was right. He had learned a valuable lesson about patience and how it could help him become stronger. He understood that growing slowly didn't mean he was weak. It meant that he was becoming resilient and adaptable, just like the willow tree and the bamboo. From that day on, the young bamboo continued to grow, but he did so with patience and grace. He knew that his time would come, and when it did, he would be ready. He learned that sometimes in life, things don't happen when we want them to. We must trust in the process and be patient. Just like the bamboo, we must be flexible and adaptable, and we must learn to grow at our own pace. Remember, growing slowly doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're becoming resilient and adaptable. Keep going. So friends, today's story reminds us that patience is a virtue that we must all embrace in our lives. Sometimes we get so caught up in the rat race of life that we forget to slow down and appreciate the journey. This story encourages us to take a step back, relax, and trust in the natural order of things. Just like the young bamboo tree, we may feel like we're growing slowly, but in our own time, we'll blossom into our fullest potential. It's important to remember that we compare ourselves to others, and that everyone has their own unique path to follow. Instead of getting caught up in the comparison game, we should focus on our own growth and celebrate our own progress. Remember, if you are going through tough times, stay patient. If you are going through good times, stay grateful. Life is a mix of both, and that's what makes it beautiful. So embrace every moment, be patient, and trust in the journey. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? What lessons have you learned from this story? Feel free to share your thoughts, experiences, or any relevant quotes that inspire you. And for those of you who are new here, please consider subscribing. And for those of you who are regulars, thank you for your continued support. It truly means a lot to me. Until next time, take care and keep being awesome.